Hey, good afternoon. This is Jay Nicholas and Guy Allen we're Pacific City, the cabin, and we are going to tie a mini tube fish taco that's pretty similar to this one. I try to make them all a little bit different, but this is my search image. Let's slide it off and get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, if you even noticed, use a pink tube instead of an orange one, because come on, it's a pink fly. This is Pro Sport Fisher medium classic tube, which is really nice because the cones fit on it, and you can pull your leader knot up into this tube, so you don't need to add a hook guard to it. And you can make your loop any length you want to.
You're leaving a portion of that tube exposed in the back.
Yes, yeah. And now not everybody does this. I like to leave a portion of this tube exposed. Now here's an example of a fly that's tied with just like a 1/16 of an inch exposed. I like to do mine more like that, say with close to 1/2 inch exposed. Personal preference. They're both highly functional. So the first thing I'm going to do here, wow, that's a chartreuse butt on a pink fly. Why not? Chartreuse ice dub. We're just going to spin it on. And if you stopped here, that stuff would come loose. It wouldn't stay. But because I'm wrapping over it with additional layers of dubbing, it becomes quite durable. So just realize if you just do a single layer of dubbing that's just finger spun, it's not going to cut it. Guarantee, I'm not going to cut it. Okay, gotta get some copper wire here, which I have pre-prepared. I'll reach in here and deftly grab one end, come on, of one piece of wire. There we go. And when I tie this in, I don't just tie a 1/4 of an inch in or an 1/8 of an inch. I got like 3/4 of an inch there. So I don't want that coming out. Let's make sure it's not coming out. So now, let me refer back. Okay, Pink Lady, Senyo's Fusion Dub. Great stuff. Greg is a friend and Great Lakes steelhead junkie, innovator. Greg knows a lot about catching steelhead, tying flies. He's a madman, character, full of energy.
So you added some glue to the underbody there?
I did, Guy. And I think, you don't have to, but I absolutely know it makes your flies more durable. Okay, butt, body, copper wire. Now I need, let's get a pan out on this. And some pink grizzly saddle hackle. And there was quite a while you couldn't even get these things. I think they're mostly sold now as half saddles, but at least we can get them. You know, I don't like that feather. It's a great feather, but it reminds me too much of a dry fly hackle. So I'm looking for something that's got
a webby,
a little bit of web in it. Here's one that's softer. This has got more web in it. So I'm tying it in by the butt at the front of the fly, and then I'm winding at an angle toward the rear of the fly. And now right here is where I bring my copper wire up and over. And you don't have to wiggle it in, because you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time that goes across, it crosses the hackle stem at an angle. The hackle stem goes this way, and the wire angle goes this way. So every time you go around, you are holding down that hackle stem. And I carefully reach in the back here with my scissor points. This shouldn't be difficult if I could see. There you go. Okay. Cutting with the base of my scissors. I'll leave that little piece of wire long, fold it back. Okay, we're just about there. I'm going to put on a little dubbing ball of Eat a Peach. And the purpose of this material is to prop up my ostrich, which is soon to be added. Now, see, this is kind of loose there, so I'm going to grab onto the end of that dubbing and holding it tight while I'm winding. That compresses it. And now I'm going to press down with my finger to hold that in place and get a couple turns. And now, is that a boat trailer going by?
Nope, just pick up.
Good. Better
We're
not.
Not missing anything yet.
Better not be anybody out there fishing today. So what I'm doing here is I'm fuzzing this up a little bit, because some of those fibers wrap down some of my hackles. So I'm just teasing it to make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, ostrich. And there's a lot of discussion about ostrich, and is it better if it's real fluffy or if it's not very fluffy. I'm going to deliberately, because this is like a mini fish taco, I'm not going to make these, the whole body here isn't very long. And I'm going to keep these fibers not, well, I got to make them a little bit longer. When these are wet, they really slim down. There, that's more like I'm looking for. Big range of opinion. How much ostrich is enough? Whoop, almost turned it the wrong way. Try to unwind my thread. You're good. You've got to get out there. You look at different flies and you listen to different experts and go fishing, and you decide how full you want to make your flies. I would describe this as being a fly of moderate fullness. When it's wet in the water, it just about disappears. But the fish can see it quite nicely. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, since I almost forgot on my last fly, I won't forget this time. I'm going to add some flash. And this is a holographic flash. I've got 2 or 3 strands. I wet them sometimes to manage them. Take a couple turns on this side, pull it over. Sometimes I wind up trimming it off and tying it in again. Sometimes I fold it over. I reserve the right to be inconsistent on how I tie in my flash. Now I need to manage these ostrich herl butts, and I want to add a guinea feather just because they look so nice. Don't have to use them. Fish don't insist on them, but they really do look nice. But I've got so much space there. I'll spread my ostrich around a little bit. I've got so much space there that if I just put the guinea feather on now, I'd still have a big wad of thread out there. And my cone wouldn't really fit. So I'm going to put on a couple of turns of schlappen. This is shrimp pink. And when I say a couple of turns, who knows what it's going to be? Not going to be 10, probably not going to be 5. Might be 3. Probably not just going to be 2. Let's find out. Tie that in by the tip as firmly as I dare. I don't really want this feather pulling out. I got some cement on there, but that's not really going to be holding it tight at this point. So I clip on my hackle pliers, and then I am going to, because it will make it easier if I can fold this hackle a little bit, easier to wind it on without getting trapped fibers. Okay, now so I could have used a hot pink. I chose shrimp pink to kind of as a complementary color to my ostrich. So here it comes in. Since I'm using the fuzzy part of the schlappen, this is almost like a little baby marabou feather there. So that's going to add some motion. Now I got a few trapped fibers there, so I pull those free. Now you can't see it, but that hackle stem is sticking out on my side. I'm going to rotate it up so you can see it. I'm going to trim it off. I said I'm going to trim it off. Now, my guinea feather. And bear with me just a moment. Let's see if I can. I know a pink would work. I'm just wondering if it would look really cool to put a little blue. So here's what you'd normally see. I'm going to put a little blue on there because I have fished and caught steelhead on pink marabou tubes that had just a couple of turns of blue at the front of the fly. And I remember that. I think it looks kind of fun also. So we got all kinds of junk on the bench here. the fly bench. We got scrap feathers and feathers we're about to use. And I know this light is casting shadow on the fly sometimes, but that's the way it goes. So I'm struggling to fold this feather. I'm getting there. But the feather's wanting to twist on me a little bit. I'm going to call that good, especially because I haven't pulled the feather out yet. So now I'm going to have do my usual little dance with this guinea feather. Always do the dance with guinea. Every once in a while you will get a guinea feather that just wraps so nicely and evenly and smoothly you're in a state of shock. But that isn't very common. But as things go, this one worked pretty well. Now, you will see right here how some of these guinea feathers are kind of blended together. I don't have a toothbrush here, but a guy loaned me a book on tying, full dress Atlantic salmon flies. And those folks are very particular about finishing their flies. And I think they take a little toothbrush to the guinea at this point, and they don't tolerate any of that clumping like I might. If I had my toothbrush here, I'd try it. Well, I've got a toothbrush here, but not a fly tying toothbrush. Also have a boat cleaning toothbrush, but that's not right now. So let me just see if I can tease these apart with a bodkin. They look a little bit nicer when when those fibers aren't clumped together. But overall, I like that. Fairly small area of thread at the front, and I'm going to go with a metallic blue. Gosh, I thought I saw a cat tail under the bench, but my kitty isn't down here at the coast, but that was pretty weird. Okay, metallic blue.
So that's a sonic?
It's an ultrasonic disc. Follow me down here, even if it's a little fuzzy, and I'll trim that, and then I'll find my barbecue lighter. I left too much tube there, so I need to open that up. So first I'll show you this fly finished tube on the vise. It's tied in the round. I'll show it to you from the back side. And now I will run a leader through here. Now my loop may not be the right length, but I've got a up-eye owner, size 2, double surgeon's loop right there. I'm going to thread this from the back end of the tube. I think I will anyway. Through the tube. And now hopefully you can see right here where the knot is next to that tube, and I'm gonna just hold the tube tight and pull that knot right into that tube. So here you go. That hook is right at the just past the rear end of where those ostrich hurls are. Right where you want to have it. So I hope you've had fun. Hope you're not bored out of your skull, and that you get to go fishing soon. Thank you.